Not to have any vipas or island between.
Any what?
Vipas, islands.
So please be very compact and tidy so that the registration count is much more than the capacity that we have. So we are very fortunate to have his association of His Grace Bhurijana Prabhuji. Every year, beginning, we always wait for this time where we have association of His Grace Bhurijana Prabhuji. And yesterday, Achyuta Saka Prabhu was mentioning that the stone like our heart can be melted. And how that is possible, what goes behind that is that we'll understand the austerity, sincerity, and the dedication for the last 58 years. How many years? Now we have quiz here. And please do not use chat GPT. So Prabhuji has been chanting, or he started
Okay,
chanting.
enough. Please stop. We're running out of time. Okay, thank you. Now I'm just gonna watch to see if you really do it. Okay, enough.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sorry.
So let's welcome Prabhuji by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
When you say that, what happened to your hair? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare, yes. Now. Hare Krishna. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Krishna Vishnu Srimati Bhakti. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauranga Vichari. Om Ginatminandasya Janandana Salakara. Tatsu Samilatan Jena Tasmai Sri Gurunama. Sri Chaitanya Manavisham Sapitam Yamunavela Sayam Yudhakadayam Vansa Kalpa Srivasya Ahasan Yuvayavita Patitam Bhavaneyo Vasadeyo. What's that sound? Oh. Now I'm going to ask you a very difficult question. Ready? Does anyone who was here yesterday during the class remember anything? If you remember something, raise your hand. And I'll call. Oh, at least some people, that's nice. Maybe some devotees weren't here. Yes, Prabhu, what do you remember? It's something very short.
So in chanting, we
Oh,
should
chanting.
actually, we need to actually chant like I am yours, so I am actually your servant. That mode we need to chant.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear it because of the
Hare
hot water
Krishna.
going.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, while chanting, we should have the proper mood, we should chant. So we should actually have the mood that I am actually servant, I am yours, Krishna, like that we should chant.
Yes, true. I don't remember saying that though. I like it. Do you give class sometimes? Do you give class sometimes? Anyone else want to give class? Yes, Paul.
As we chant, it reveals us our real natural relationship with the Lord.
Yes. Which of the those? Yeah, because the two weren't together. But yeah, but true. So take the darpana marjanam. When we look in the mirror of our consciousness, gradually our consciousness becomes clear. Just like when we look in a mirror and we can actually see who we actually are. Just imagine how wonderful it would be to be able to perceive our actual identity, not the identity of the body or of the mind, but our actual self, the soul, who we are. Thank you. Any of the Matajis remember something?
If we consciously try,
Oh, yes. You have to raise your hand. And not only that, You have to wait till I go, yes. Okay, let's try this one again. Do any of the Matajis remember anything they would like to say? Mataji, raise your hand so I can call in. Yes. Very good.
If we consciously try, it might look difficult, but if we not try, it will be impossible.
Yeah, I like that point. I'm going to use it in my next class. Anyone else? Yes.
We all should just go in the right direction. Doesn't matter we go straight up like skyrocket or we go like this or like this or like this.
It does matter in the sense that you'll get there faster if you go straight.
But we should not go downwards.
We should go opposite. We need a goal. What is the goal of your life? Do you ever think about that? What is the actual goal? When you're leaving this world, are you going to think that I've wasted my whole life and I didn't get anything of value? That's called old age, and old people are often very cynical about life because they've accumulated so many zeros. Zero this and zero that, but in the end, it really doesn't mean much. So it's really important to study Shastra, associate with devotees, to actually fix in our mind, what is the goal of my life? And no one can do that for you. I can give class, or Prabhu can give class, and say, the purpose of life is to learn to love Krishna, but that doesn't fix it in our own mind until we make that our goal itself. Thank you. Anyone else like to say, if they remember something? Yes, someone from the younger generation.
I like the point when you said Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has told that one who realizes that nothing in this material world gives them real happiness has taken the biggest step in Krishna consciousness.
Yes, well said, well said. The greatest step forward, that is the way I heard it. If we actually understand, not that we don't deal with the material world, and not that we don't interact or even try to achieve something in the material world that can be used in Krishna's service, but if we think that any situation in the material world is going to bring the satisfaction that we long for, we are wrong. It is illusion. I once heard a psychologist say, I'm not sure I should say this, but should I say it? No, look at the brahmacharis when I say it. He said that if you think that marriage is going to cure the loneliness in your heart, you are mistaken. It's funny how the Matajis laugh more than the men. I was expecting them all to get angry at me. So we heard 7 different perfections of the holy name. First one was what? Just say the Sanskrit. No, oh, sorry. One person, just raise your hand and I'll point quickly. Yes, Prabhu. Yes. Okay, what does Chaito Darpanamarjana mean in one sentence? Yes. Cleansing the consciousness. Yes, thank you. The mirror of one's consciousness. Second one. What? No. Yes, thank you. You raised your hand so nicely. Thank you. Yes, what does that mean?
There is a great forest fire that can be externalized by the holy name.
Yes, thank you. Third. Yes, but just raise your hand and I'll call on you. Yes.
Shreya Kerala Chandrika.
Shreya Karaya, what does that mean?
Shreya means auspiciousness.
Yes.
And Kerala is the lotus, blossomed lotus.
Yes.
And Chandrika is the moon, which is the moonlight shower.
Yes.
Entire thing which inundates the whole world.
And Vitarana means opening up.
Yeah.
So beautiful images, so beautiful pictures. Mahaprabhu is speaking poetry. Next, that was the third one. Four, Vidyavadu Jivanam. Just as a wife naturally follows her husband, similarly, knowledge naturally follows the chanting of the whole. True knowledge. Next, fifth. Yes, I'm only calling those who read, yes.
Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam, blissful ocean which is expanding.
An ever expanding blissful ocean. Ocean of bliss from chanting the holy names. Next, raise your hand. Yes,
Pratipadam Purnamrita Aswadanam.
yes, Prabhu.
Pratipada means at every step, Purnamrita means full nectar, and Aswadana means causing to taste.
Yes, tasting, thank you. You wrote those notes yourself?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you do well in school, in your schoolwork?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Next, Pona Amrita Aswadanam. Next. Raise your hand up. Yes, Prabhu. No, the one who raised his hand. You can't raise your hand and then when I call on you get shy. You have to decide first. Yes. And then that means that the self, there's no selfishness in relishing the bliss of the holy names. It's completely natural. It is one's inheritance. It's natural. And then Param Vijayate, Sri Krishna Sankirtana, that the holy names will be victorious over the material energy in the material world. And one, the soul can transcend by the power of the holy names. Now the second verse, which we will discuss today, is not poetry. Now, one of the things that we pointed out about the first verse, was that the Sanskrit, or in Bengali script though, was the Sanskrit, and here's the Bengali script also. No, it's not yet there. Nam Nama Kari Bahud and Nivashavashaki. So, there's many words, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, small words to so many words. So it's a completely different mood. This verse is not the same kind of mood, poetry, as the first verse. And there's less images. There's less pictures. But let's hear what this verse is because it's very, very powerful. This verse, no, we won't try to read it there, but yeah. Whoops, there. So all together. Nam So in the first verse, the glories and the perfections that come from the holy name, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he spoke. And here, he's going to say something very wonderful, philosophy, and then a prayer. First, let's see how we've done this, yeah. First, Nam Nam Akari Bahuda. Now, of course, the Sanskrit line is more than this, but it's Nam Nam Akari Bahuda. Of the names, there's Nam Nam, many names. Not just Nam, but Nam Nam, many names. Akari Bahuda. You have manifested many names. So it's not only there's one name that has the potencies that we've heard about in the first verse, but Krishna so kindly has manifested many names. You have manifested many forms of your holy names. There are many names you have manifested. Why? Because there are different individuals who have different tastes and want different desires. Now the holy names, whoops. The holy names are divided into two categories. The first one is primary and the second is secondary, second category. The first name, primary names, or the secondary names address Krishna, but in relationship to the material world. What would be an example of a secondary name of Krishna? You have to raise your hand, I'm telling you in advance. In relationship to the material world. Yes, Mataji?
Dayanidhi.
An ocean of mercy. Yeah, yes. Thank you. I was thinking of something even more direct.
Paramatma.
Paramatma. Because there's no Paramatmas in the spiritual world. Yes? Parameshwara, the supreme controller, the Ishwara. The controller, the Vishnu, Karanadakshay, Vishnu, Govardhakshay, Vishnu, Kiradakshay, Vishnu. So when the Christians are preaching, what word do they use? What Sanskrit or Hindi or what word do they use to indicate their supreme being or God? What word do they translate? You have to raise your hand. Yes. Is that the word they use when they translate into the local language?
Almighty.
But okay, in when they're speaking to people in this country? Ishwara. This is what they mean by God, the controller. That's a secondary name. In relationship, and certainly a name, but of God, the Supreme Lord, but in relationship to the material world. But there's primary names too. Primary names, the names that show more about the personality of Godhead, and those have two categories. One is the names that show of that person, Bhagawan, who show his opulence and power. And when you look at him, you're like this, like Lord Nrsingadev, Varahadev, and who else? Vamandev. So all these names they're primary names, they're of the person, nothing to do with the material world. But then there are names that show the sweetness of Bhagavan, the sweetness of that all-attractive personality of Godhead, such as, raise your hand, a name that is very sweet. Yes?
Gopal?
Gopal. What is your name?
Gaurang.
Gorang. Another one. Yes. Krishna. The all-attractive, he's so sweet. He completely attracts your mind and heart, your full consciousness. And if one actually has a sense of Krishna's presence, one cannot keep one's mind away from him. When Uddhava told the gopis, after Krishna left Vrindavan, he told them that, giving the message from Sri Krishna himself, Uddhava carried that message, and he told him that, I know that you gopis are always thinking of me and missing me, but you should know that I am everywhere, and all you have to do is think about me or see me as I am present everywhere, and then you'll remember me and you'll be in my presence. And the gopis thought, this isn't our problem, that we need advice on how to remember you. We're always remembering you. We're trying to figure out how to forget you. This is Krishna. This is Krishna. When there's a relationship with Krishna, one's mind, one's heart is fully focused on this all-attractive, supremely beautiful, opulent, all-knowing, clever person. Another name. Raise your hands up. Yes. First. Janardana. What does Janardana mean?
Who is taking care of the beings.
Of the being.
Protector of the beings.
There will be a secondary.
It seems a bit of a secondary name. Yes.
Gopinath.
Gopinath. Yes. Giridhari. Shamasundar. Madhava. No, that's not your name, Mataji. What name did you have again?
Damodar.
Dama, there's so many beautiful, sweet names. And it is those beautiful, sweet names. Krishna can invest, he has many of them, but those are the ones that can fulfill everything that we heard of in the first verse of the Shikshashtakam. Anandam Bhuti Vardhanam, an ever-increasing ocean of bliss. It is those primary names that display the sweetness of Krishna. But here, Namnamakari Bahuda, many names. He has manifested many names, many forms of your holy names out of his mercy. Then, Nija Sava Shaktis Tatra Arpita. That all of Krishna's own potencies, and Arpita means bestowed. He's given his own potencies in those holy names. So we just usually think Abhinatam Namanamano, that Krishna and his names are the same. But why are they the same? Because Krishna has given all his potencies between the name and the name, the one who is, it's not in the water, this water here, but water, the name, and water, the substance are different. But Krishna's names, he has put himself and all his potencies in those names. So that's Krishna's kindness. That is his mercy. And that's, so up to this point, what is the second verse of Shikshashtakam? Someone say it from the beginning. Yes. Nam Pari Bahuda Niva Sava Shaktis Tatarpita. And then there's a little more that comes, but that's a third point. You ready for the third point? Here it is. Niyamita Smarane Nakala. So the first point was that he has so many of these names, and second point, he's put all his potencies, he's bestowed by his kindness, all himself in these names. And then in this third point in the second verse, Niyamita Smarane Nakala. Niyamita means the regulations. Niyam, the rules and regulations. Smarane Nakala. There's no rules in remembering. There's no time, no circumstances that has to be there. Even with the deity worship. Think of your favorite deity and think of yourself in front of that deity. You have to do it. I mean, you don't have to, but if you close your eyes and think yourself in front of the deity that's most dear to you. And then you're looking at that deity, and then the curtains close. Are you thinking of this? Why? Okay, think of what deity is your favorite deity?
Krishna.
Okay. Any particular place and form and name?
Alarnath.
Excuse me?
Alarnath.
Alarnath. In Puri.
Puri.
Near Puri. Mahaprabhu, that's when he went and took shelter. Do you know when he was there? You know what? You know why he took shelter there? Because after Snanayatra, Lord Jagannath becomes ill and they redecorate him. And no one can see him at that time. So Mahaprabhu couldn't tolerate being in that place, Jagannath Puri, but not being able to see Lord Jagannath. He couldn't tolerate it. It wasn't philosophical. It's love. He couldn't tolerate not seeing Lord Jagannath, but yet being in Jagannath Puri, so he went to Alarnath. And there, and even to this day, they offer during the Snanayatra time, the 2 weeks after, until the Netra Utsava, they offer food from that they offer to Lord Jagannath, they offer it to the deity Alarana, because that's where Mahaprabhu went. And there, he was feeling such separation from Lord Jagannath that the stone melted there. And you can go and see that stone. You've seen it? Yes. But Mahaprabhu was happy. But all the devotees who were in Jagannath Puri, Nityananda Prabhu and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, they were not happy because they couldn't see Mahaprabhu. So when the devotees from Bengal were coming, this is the first year after Mahaprabhu had taken sannyas, they devised a little bit of Rajniti. And they sent a message to Mahaprabhu that the devotees from Bengal, who haven't seen you for so long, and they've been feeling such separation from you, they're arriving today or tomorrow. Please come. It was true, but yet Chaitanya Charitamrita says, or Chaitanya Bhagavata perhaps, it says they did this also because of their intolerable missing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the point I was trying to make was that seeing the deities, but at some point the curtain closes and you can't see them anymore. So there's the time, you have to be at the right time and the right place to see the deity that perhaps you love. But with the holy names, there is no restriction at all. At any time, in any place. In the Vedic culture, strictly following the rules and regulations, everything is so strictly done. In the seasons, I know one devotee who's from a Brahmin family in Nepal, and he didn't follow this when he was young, and his father didn't follow it, but his grandfather was very strict in following every rule. And when you bathe, in one season you'd face in this direction, and another season just bathing, pouring some water on you, you'd face in another direction, another season in another direction. And his grandfather once chastised him, this devotee told me, because he was wearing short pants. And there was more to what he chastised us by. And he said, the next thing you'll be doing is something that everyone does all the time nowadays. So strict, but there's no restrictions at all. You can be clean, you can be unclean, you can be this, you can be that. In any situation, you can be awake, you can be sleeping. In fact, when Mahaprabhu, just before he was going to take sannyas, actually the day he was going to take sannyas, no one knew on that very day he would leave the devotees in Sridham Mayapur and never again return. And they loved him so much. He chanted Sankirtan with them on that day, just like every other day, in bliss. In his association, the entire spiritual world opened up when they were chanting. And then he went home, and then he went to the Ganga to bathe. He sat by the Ganga very peacefully, and then he went home, and all the devotees, one by one, would come to his house, and they would give him, each one by one, they would give him sandalwood paste, and give him a garland. Every day the devotees would come just to see him, and he looked so beautiful, and no one knew what was going to happen that very night, except for a few devotees. And Mahaprabhu instructed them at that time, and no one could understand the weight of that instruction. I used to know the Bengali of it, but I don't anymore. But he said, you should always chant Krishna's names. If you love me, the test of how much you love me will be that you always chant Krishna's names and always remember Krishna. And then he said, whether you're eating, whether you're sleeping, whether you're awake, no matter what you're doing, chant Krishna's names. While you're eating, sleeping, awake and doing anything, chant always Krishna's names. So he told the devotees this, and then they were leaving, and he took one by one, took off the garments that they had given them and presented them to the devotees, one by one. And then they left. And no one knew that that night Mahaprabhu would leave and they wouldn't see him again in that place. But that was the instruction that he gave them. And also, when he went to, after he took sannyas, they were devastated. They were completely, they didn't move. Mother Sachi, all the devotees came to see Mahaprabhu the next morning, and as they always did, they came to show their respects to Mother Sachi and see the Lord, and she was outside the house, completely empty of life. And she said to the devotees as they came, his possessions now, you can take them as you like. He's gone. And the devotees became stunned. One by one as they came, they became stunned. And then finally, Mahaprabhu went to, not finally, but he went to, he took sannyas, and by Nityananda Prabhu's arrangement, he brought Mahaprabhu to the house of Sri Advaitacharya in Shantipur, and then all the devotees came, and Mother Sachi came, and Mother Sachi, all the devotees said, let me cook for you, Lord. And Mother Sachi said, I just have one request. You will be able to go and see him later, but I will not. Please let me cook for him for these days while he's there in the home of Advaitacharya. And every day they chanted and chanted and chanted and chanted. And it was just like before the ecstasies they were feeling. But then the time for Mahaprabhu to leave came. So they were with him every day for years. Then he left them. So they were all in ecstasy. Then they were all in transcendental misery. And then they saw him again. They were in ecstasy. But the time came for him to leave. And what did they do? They said, please just stay a little bit longer. And Mahaprabhu said, okay. So he stayed another 3 or 4 days. But then the inevitable time came for him to leave. And he gave them the instruction to just gather together in your homes and chant Krishna's names congregationally. Chant Krishna's names, chant Krishna's names, chant Krishna's, the same point. Just chant Krishna's name, gather together. Your families in your houses, ever there, just chant Krishna's name. And this time, he left. And Advaitacharya came with them. He came with them. And because he couldn't, they left for Jagannath-puri, he couldn't tolerate staying behind. And there was a great crying coming from the house of Advaitacharya. And Mahaprabhu just turned to him and said, if you don't go back, they won't survive. So Advaitacharya had to go back. Welcome to the chant Hare Krishna for an anxiety-free life movement. But it's all on the transcendental platform. Actually, if one is transcendental. So in any case, Niyamitas Marane Nakala, there is no restrictions. There's no rules that you can't chant at this time. You can't be with Krishna at this time. He's opening the door for everyone. If you want to be with me, you can. No restriction. Anytime, any place, any situation you're in. Just chant Krishna's names and remember me. So this is the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's emphasized this. Srila Jiva Goswami comments about somewhere in one of his commentaries on somewhere in probably 11th canto. He says that Kali Yuga is the greatest blessing. The holy names were always powerful in every yuga. Always, in every yuga. But no one took it really seriously because the people were so perfect in mind and body and soul. They performed different yogas and meditations. But the blessing of Kali Yuga is that there's so much anxiety and people are so longing for shelter. There's so much disease and difficulty and this and that. And people are longing for shelter, and therefore they can take shelter of Krishna's holy names, if they so desire. And Krishna has made himself available in the holy names. No time, no place, no restriction. So this is very interesting, because this glorification of the holy names now turns, in the words of Mahaprabhu in the second verse. Itadrisi, Tava Kripa. This, you are so merciful by making yourself easily available in the form of your holy name. Bhagavan, Mam, oh my Lord. He's being very personal here. Bhagavan, Mam, this api is a little bit different word. Oh my Lord, oh Bhagavan. This is the first time he's actually calling, even the first and the second verse. This is the first prayer in which he's actually calling the Lord's name. Oh Lord, oh Bhagavan, my Lord. Very personal. There is the Lord, but is the Lord my Lord? Itadasi Tavakripa Bhagavan Mam. Apti means although. Although you are so merciful, O Lord, that you have so many names, that you have invested all your potency in the holy names, and you've made it so that anyone at any time and place and circumstance, no matter who the person is, he can be with you in the form of the holy names. Although such is your mercy, O Lord. Durdaivam, my bad fate, my misfortune, my unfortunateness. In them, itadrisam, ihanjani nanuraga. There's no, ihanjani means is born. In the holy names, I'm so unfortunate that in these holy names is born na anurag. There's no attachment. And it's not that I don't have attachment for things. I have an iPhone 17 Pro, excuse me. I have attachment to it, and if I lost that, I'd be in so much anxiety and have attachment to this and have attachment to that and this and that and this and that and this. But to your holy names, to you, in the form of the holy names where you've been so merciful, I don't have attachment. And I am therefore very unfortunate. Because we all define fortune and misfortune in different ways. But what is real fortune? That one should consider. Say if Everyone, of course, would like to be a billionaire, a multi crorepati, of course. But if you would be a crorepati, a multi crorepati for an eighth of a second, and then you didn't have it anymore, and you'd be excited and feel yourself so fortunate for an eighth of a second or a 20th of a second, would that be fortunate? That's how a sadhu, a holy person, sees, considers the fortunes and misfortunes of the material world. That's how he can tolerate the difficulties of the material world, because he sees things from the point of view of eternity, from the viewpoint that Krishna sees things. It's a different mindset, a different mentality. So what is fortune and what isn't? What is misfortune or unfortunateness? And it's important to be introspective and think for ourselves, because we are all individuals. What do we hope for in life? What would it take for something to happen to me? What would it take for something to happen to me that I would feel myself fortunate? And of course, we could probably answer this in a theoretical, shastrically correct way, but really, just between myself and Krishna, what do I think is fortune? And what do I think is misfortune? So here, Mahaprabhu is really defining what fortune is. It's attachment to Krishna in the form of his holy names, because he is there in all his beauty, in all his strength, in all his opulence, in all his intelligence, in all his detachment, in all his fame. He is there fully. And to have attachment to the holy names means attachment to Krishna. And to have attachment to the holy names means to always chant Krishna's names and always be in the association of Krishna through devotional service in this way, and then easily remembering him. And this isn't just Mahaprabhu's conclusion, this is Shastra conclusion. So our acharyas have compiled so many verses from the Bhagavatam. I'll just mention one here. This is from the second canto, very famous verse. It's one of the first words spoken by Srila Sukadeva Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit, because Sukadeva doesn't speak in the first canto at all. And in the second canto, first chapter, text 11, Etan navidyamananam iksitam makutam vayam yogaram nripanirnitam harinama anukirtanam. O king, this is one of the first things Sukadeva Goswami speaks to Maharaj Parikshit, who is soon to leave this world due to the curse of the Brahmin Shringi boy. He says, "O Lord, there's navidyamananam, those who are completely free from material desires, and those who have full of desires, ikshatam. If you have no material desires, and if you're full of material desires, if you're somewhere in between, akuto bhayam, if you want to be free from fear, and who in this material world doesn't want to be free from fear? Yoginam, or if you're a yogi and you have all kinds of mystic powers, regardless if you have desires, no desires, if you're a yogi, O king, nirnitam, means it has been decided, it has been concluded that the way to attain fearlessness And this he's speaking to Raj Prickett, who is soon to die, and that is the ultimate fear, because you have to leave everything behind, and it's pain, and you can't think, oh, when I'm soon I might be leaving this world, and therefore I'll just chant Hare Krishna. It's not so easy. That's why the association of devotees who help each other in times of difficulty, and that's so important that the devotees do that. Help each other in time of difficulty. That is the meaning of a community. Together and help each other and serve each other and always chant together, and when there's a practical material difficulty, help each other, open the heart, open the house to each other. So the way to become free from fear, he says, this Maharaj Prickett, who is soon to die, he said, is Harinam Anukirtana. Harinam Anukirtana. To chant the holy names of the Lord. Because this is the way, this is the doubtless, Prabhupada's translation is so wonderful. Chanting the holy names of the Lord after the ways of the great authority, this is the doubtless and fearless way of success for all. And in the third canto, the 9th chapter, which is Brahma's prayers, and then there's the 11th verse is one of my favorite verses. But here's this in the 7th verse. I'll just read the English. This is defining misfortune, Durdaiva. Oh my Lord, Brahma says, the people of the world are embarrassed by all material anxieties. They're always afraid. They always try to protect their wealth. They always try to protect their body and friends. And they are filled with lamentation and unlawful desires. And unlawful paraphernalia. We collect so many things. And they are avariciously, means enviously, they enviously base their understandings on the perishable concept of mine. This is mine, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. And you have something that I want and I'm envious of you. This is the material world. And as long as they do not take shelter of your safe lotus feet, O Lord, they are full of so much anxiety. So fortune on one side and unfortunate, misfortune on the other side. So Mahaprabhu was saying, Durdaiva Pinjali, although you're so kind, you've been so merciful and made yourself so easily available. My bad fate, my misfortune, that in the holy names, in them, Ihajani is born. Nanuraga, no attachment. So in the beginning, the glories of the holy name, in the end, a prayer with such lamentation, which will lead to the third verse, which we will discuss tomorrow. I find this verse very thought-provoking. It makes me think about myself and what I really have as the goal of my life and what I really want. And how fortunate am I? So when Prabhu was reading about, or speaking about, that I've been chanting, Bhurijana has been chanting for 58 years, and he's thinking that, oh, he's so fortunate. And I'm thinking, I'm so unfortunate, because despite having been chanting for so long, So therefore I said, stop. It's too much for me to hear of my misfortune. And Prabhu kindly agreed. Where is he? Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. And then one can ask the question, well, what does it look like if someone is actually fortunate? And Mahaprabhu, when speaking to Prakasananda Saraswati, said, he said that his Guru Maharaj, Sripad Ishwara Puri, taught him a verse from the Bhagavatam, which is the essence of the Bhagavatam. He said, the essence of the 12 cantos of the Bhagavatam. What was that verse? Anyone know? If I have the first word, I can almost recite it. Titan Jato Naraga Jutichita Uchai Hasyat Jito Roditi Rautika Impil Madhavan Nritya Digokavaya. The one is fortunate with one chance the holy names. His body erupts in the ecstasy of his internal association with Krishna. Internally, his love for Krishna is manifesting, and this is how it manifests externally in his body. He dances, he cries, tears are pouring from his eyes, he laughs, he jumps up, he falls to the ground. This is what fortune looks like. It's ununderstandable to a materialist, but it's the highest ecstasy of attachment and love for Krishna.
Question.
You have 20 seconds, including the answer. Go ahead, because I want to start the next part.
Prabhuji, how to get this fortune?
That's the ultimate question, yes. Well, Mahaprabhu will talk about that more in the third verse tomorrow. But chant, Mahaprabhu said, chant, 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 whatever situation you're in, chant, 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 chant. Serve the devotees. That's the doubtless, Mahaprabhu says, this is the doubtless Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. It's the doubtless way that you'll make please Krishna. And it is not, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, it is not a means. You do this to get something. He said, this is the goal, to serve the devotees. I mean, we can give many classes on this point, but we won't right now. Okay. Now, well, there's so much more of the glories of the holy name, but I'd like to do something else right now. Please, close your eyes. Even if you're from Odisha. Because people from Orissa, they're thinking of Lord Jagannath in his eye of soul. It's amazing. People, everyone from Orissa is a devotee of Lord Jagannath. So much love for Lord Jagannath. So close your eyes and think of a picture, or many pictures, or a few pictures, images of what this verse brings to your mind, what you remember from the verse brings to your mind. And then take out your notebook and pen and do a directed free writing on this verse. And remember that there is one rule, and that's keep your pen moving. And again, you'll be so surprised at how intelligent your pen is. It will say such wonderful things. Begin now. keep your pen writing. No other rule. Keep your pen moving. Even if you don't know what to write, just write anyway. Does anyone have an extra pen? Okay, so we ended up with 4 extra pens. And then in the last minute, just write down a prayer based on the mood of this verse. Any prayer that you would like to the Holy One. Om Mahaprabhu Krishna. Just another 30 seconds. Okay. Now please face the altar over here. If you could turn and face the altar and take out your japa beads and try to chant for a few minutes in the mood of your prayer, in the mood of what Mahaprabhu said in the first and second verse. See if you can capture the mood. I'm trying to become absorbed in. And if we can just chant the holy name in japa, taking shelter of Guru, Vaishnava, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya, see if you can really focus. It's such a rare time we have now. So use this time and focus chanting as best you can. Try your best. Be focused. If you can do it, it's mercy. Keep focused, keep meditative, keep careful, keep chanting Krishna's holy name. Try your best. Try your best. Focus mind and heart. This is mass chanting. First said, starting with Japa chanting. Now it's the time for Harinam Sankirtan and for Kirtan. And if the Kirtaniyas would get ready to begin. Um, a full-hearted kirtan. Whenever you're ready, we can. Let's go out. Begin, please. If we can chant for the pleasure of the devotees.
Krishna
your hands in the air and begin to chant with a full heart. And chant and make it offer your prayer and chant in your mind very, very, very loudly to your worshipful deities. Put in your mind and heart, chant very loudly and pray very sincerely. Try your best. Okay, now form yourself into small groups of 4 or 5 and discuss what you think, what your thoughts are on the holy names of Krishna, on the Shikshashtakam verse 2. Please discuss. Just find some group to be part of and discuss.
The biggest difference people make is bringing the chanting back and not chanting. Listen, I do it. That I don't someone must come here. They will come like this. This is my reality. I tell if one has a sense of having Krishna present in themselves, then they keep their mind at that. So everything comes from there. So every we have to chant everything, not like a routine. But sometimes it's so difficult, at least we have to chant right at least one block from the channel, that's for sure. I get a lot of inspiration from all these devotees who are speaking about chanting. Like I used to not hear when I was small, speak about chanting. Now I started realizing why they are sometimes why the participants, why they are telling, why the Shikshashtakam is taking their time to tell us to chant. So I understood
I'm not saying you're not doing it. You understood, right? The next step should always be you understand, right? Once you understand, all you have a vague idea of what it is. Try to implement whatever you have understood. You go to school. You didn't understand the lesson. So you go home and read part of it. Whatever you understand from that, you write it down. Or you try to jot down or write it down or try to understand that small topic. Very small studies. Once you understood, try to implement.
This was why in your he wants to see what and he wants to know how he looks
Just go quickly, pick it up.
ask him how much
This has to stop now. When class stops, now this has to stop.